August 22nd, 2025. I slept okay. A tiny bit longer, I think, maybe, than I have been lately. I mean, I always feel good. I mean, I sleep well, nice and solid. I basically, from the time I pass out till the time I wake up, just off in the void. So I'm not sure what that means, why I'm not sleeping super long, but I think I need it. I think mostly it's just because I'm going to bed so late and the room is illuminated a little bit brighter than probably my body likes, so I just wake up. Anyway, I did not have, basically my graphics are all in a good spot, so I did not start that computer up. I mostly just relaxed, watched some YouTube for a while, and slowly started packing for the trip to Colorado. I really went slow, but I knew the trip over here is roughly 8 hours, going kind of slow, maybe 7.5 really. So yeah, I got out the door, I think I left around 2-ish, 1:30 maybe. And really enjoyed the whole trip here. It was extremely scenic. I think this might be maybe one of my favorite stretches in the entire U.S. for scenery and ease of travel in general. It's just nice. There were some like dust storms, a little bit of lightning here and there, a lot of wind in a certain spot where you I'm not even sure how to describe where the spot is. It's in Utah, but it's not too far before you get into Colorado, out in the desert out there. Pretty cool. I'll include what footage I can. I filmed what I could as I could, and the rest is just beautiful mountain scenery. And I saw a big huge rainbow for a while. That was pretty cool, just running right at it. I guess because it's an east-west highway, it's just nice when the sun basically aligns behind you so that you can see the rainbow ahead of you. And it's a little annoying when you're driving right at the sun. So on my way back on Sunday, or maybe tomorrow night, probably Saturday, I will be aiming at the sun most of the way, after about noon or so anyway. It was just I got in here, it wasn't too long after dark, around 9 or so. I went and checked out the venue. They have good Wi-Fi internet speeds, at least right now they do, so hopefully that makes things work good tomorrow. Outside of that basically completes the day. I think my deep thought of the day, I don't know, I was watching a lot of podcasts, listening to a lot of podcasts on my way here. What would be one that stood out to me? They were talking, one of them was reviewing the Google announcements on their hardware stuff. Other ones are kind of my other typical fare, like relationships, that type stuff. Kind of the Jerry Springer, modern day Jerry Springer, I guess, that appeals to me. It's sort of a guilty pleasure in a way. I don't know, kind of in some ways it makes me want to address or kind of talk about the I guess the gender war is kind of what it's termed as these days, and maybe has been for many years, decades, but I don't know. I don't think of it as a gender war as much as I think of it as a gender misunderstanding. I think one of the I guess the one deep thought I'll walk into here, wade into, is how the world is in general catered to women, in the sense that one of the videos was discussing the modern day complaint that women have, how men don't approach women anymore, and it was a video that did a fine job of at least expressing why, understanding why men are confused about this in general, where men don't like, or women don't want to be catcalled. They want to feel comfortable out in public, but they don't want to be left alone either. They want to be approached. All of this obviously very confusing to both men and women, I'd say. And her perspective, the gal that was in this doing this video in particular, was talking about the perspective of women, how catcalling is at some point in their lives, every woman has been made to feel threatened, I guess, being catcalled in some way. And admittedly, I have no experience with this whatsoever, because I'm a dude and I'm not a particularly attractive dude. But regardless of that, my opinion is this, and this is a little, I don't know, take it for what it is. I'm just some random dude. The conveniences of modern day, the essential safety and sort of the bubble wrap that gets put on everything because of modern day convenience, I believe, has essentially made people in general, but more especially women, too hypersensitive to basically everything. And catcalling in general, they aren't taught to have a thick skin for dealing with it. In the past, I'm not even sure thick skin is the right term for the way women would deal with it in the past, but it's something now that would essentially be termed as thick skin, because people are so coddled. The bubble wrap is very thick, and obviously having people feel threatened is one thing. I'm not saying you need to have a thick skin against actual threat, but having a thick skin for catcalling, just generic catcalling, is that too much to ask? I mean, I don't know. Essentially the way I see it is, women don't really know how to express what they want, or they don't know what they want. They want attention from specific people, but they don't want attention from everyone else. And there's no real way to make laws and social stigmas and sort of social agreements that carve out that specific person or group of people which are essentially allowed to catcalling, which they would invite. It's because they're unclear about it. They can't be clear about it. They all have different opinions, and they don't want to be responsible for essentially shaming or dissuading the people that aren't in that group. They don't want to be accountable for that kind of opinion. That's my opinion. So we end up with all these dumb think pieces about women wanting the attention but not wanting it at the same time. And I think it's just a clear case that the chaos of a woman's desires versus her icks or repulsions is it's a muddy minefield full of invisible minds and visible minds alike. Some with laser trip wires, some with hair trip wires, some with whatever, pins already pulled and ready to go. Dumb metaphor, but anyway, that's my opinion on it. I don't know, what kind of call to action does that mean? What does that beg the audience to think here? I think it is useful to essentially learn the skill of water off of duck's back. Just let it roll off. Their threat itself is only it only exists in actions as far as catcalling is concerned. Obviously, there is some nuance to this. Where does the line come between words and actions? I'm not entirely sure, but I do know if we handle those people that are doing things the wrong way, or at least make an attempt to handle those people, make some kind of clear social signal for women to say, hey, I'm not interested, and back off in a simple, clear way. It doesn't have to be polite even. That it will be allowed for people to take a cat call and let it roll off her back. And for those that are a little more invested with a negative bent, they can see the repercussion of doing something wrong and we'll just let it be. I don't know. There are ways to help this. All of it is communication and a little thick skin. So there's my thought for the day. I don't know that there was really a call to action there. Just learn to deal with words. That's my call to action. Thanks, y'all. Hopefully any of that was useful. Until next time.